Hello, everyone! So, episode 66 of Skibidi Zombie Multiverse already came out, and man, it was even crazier than the previous one. Recently, Monster Up really started experimenting with his series plot and adding new characters, and today we'll see even more of it coming. And today we'll see another incredible battle between our old fella and somebody big and new, as well as we'll see whether Mecha Scientist will manage to steal the Plague Doctor's core or not. So now, get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, because it's going to be really crazy, and let's go. But before I'll start digging into episode 66, let me remind you real quick about the events of the previous episode, just as I always do. So episode 65 previously revealed a hidden village to us where uninfected Skibidi toilets, TV men, and cameramen once all lived peacefully together, independent from both the Alliance or Skibidi army. But soon their peace got shattered when the Dark Plungerman, aka SCP Dave, controlled by the Plague Doctor, leads a brutal raid while destroying all the villagers, including a TV man who once knew him. Plungerman shows no mercy, fully embracing his evil persona, though he briefly regains his senses when he thinks he sees his old friend Skibidi in one of the fleeing Skibidi toilet villagers. Meanwhile, our old fella Mecha Scientist cameraman secretly watches Plungerman's experiments as he teleports into his lair via the portal that SCP Dave opens after the village raid. And he stealthily manages to teleport as well, even though it's hella dangerous. Using stolen TV screens and mysterious energy cores, Plungerman transforms a zombie cameraman into a humanoid cyborg with restored sanity. This new being has some disturbing flashbacks soon after his mental awakening, but it looks more like false memories to me. That flashback suggests that the TV men caused humanity's downfall, actually, and they are to blame for everything. The human cyborg immediately fills with rage towards TV men after this, which only confirms my theory that those memories were most likely false, and they were created by SCP Dave in order to fool the members of his new army of fanatics. The Plague Doctor seems to be manipulating his new creation into hating the Alliance, and it's hinting at a bigger plan from him to create a new entire race under his control only. Okay, and that's where we dive into the new episode, which continues this exact storyline. So it starts with the scene from the previous episode, where the Plague Doctor finishes brainwashing of his new cyborg ally and welcomes him into the new cruel world. Meanwhile, Mecha Scientist cameraman decides to steal one of the precious cores the Plague Doctor possesses, and these cores are basically vital for Dave to control his zombie minions and produce new race members. So if Mecha would actually manage to steal one of those cores, it would undermine the whole plan of SCP Dave, which would be cool to say the least. But unfortunately, Mecha gets caught real quick. And by the way, in this scene we can also see the special equipment that Mecha Scientist invented for himself. And it is actually a unique glow that is supposed to protect its wearer from getting exterminated by the core completely. Because in case you forgot, these cores suck out the vital energy of its wearers. So in case you want to protect yourself from their influence, you've got to wear special robotic equipment or, well, just to be a robot. Anyway, without even saying any words, the Dark Plungerman, aka the Plague Doctor, kicks Mecha Scientist like crazy and makes him literally fly away from the core in slow motion. Now Mecha is concussed, and Plungerman sarcastically says, "Nice try, my friend." And by the way, in my previous analysis, I already mentioned that Mecha really could be friends with the original Plungerman or Dave before he got possessed by his SCP version. After that, we realize that Mecha is still conscious after all, and he starts fighting SCP Dave with his bare hands. Or not so bare, actually. SCP Dave screams at him, "Stop it, enough!" After that, he immobilizes Mecha by using his spike and tells him, "You saw everything. Everything you knew before is a lie." And by saying this, he referred to the whole flashback scene that the humanoid cyborg had seen, but I already explained it to you all in details in my previous video why all of those flashbacks are most certainly a lie. And I think that Mecha Scientist realizes it as well, so instead of siding with the Plague Doctor, he keeps on fighting. So in the next scene, we see that the epic arrival of the drone that Mecha summoned at the end of the previous episode is about to happen very soon. So Mecha has to wait just a couple of more minutes for it. In order to gain more time and survive a bit longer, Mecha actually blindsights SCP Dave right in the middle of his yapping session, who then throws him away right onto gas cylinders. Wait, what the hell were they even doing there in the cave? Oh well, whatever. Their placement doesn't really matter for Mecha Scientist anyway, because once the drone he summoned actually shows up and literally flies right into Mecha's figure, the huge explosion from all these gas cylinders occurs. But guess what? Mecha Scientist still remains unscathed, which is a good thing, of course. All that happens just adds more epic points to the drone's arrival, and that's all. And by the way, speaking of that drone, to me it looks like a wild compilation of the upgraded camera strider from Boom's original series, infused with some astro claws or something like this, and there is also some large part in the middle of its body and much more. So yeah, the camera strider for Monster Up's multiverse looks drastically different from Boom's original version, but I think it's only for the best. And in the next scene, we see how Mecha operates this strider baby and destroys a bunch of infected speakers like it's nothing. And we also see how this version of Camera Strider has its mini version, who apparently has its own AI, so it doesn't need to be operated by anyone from the outside. And besides that, it's also cute as hell. This mini drone is on pair with the camera kitten that SCP Dave picked up in the last episode. And it seems to me like Monster Up became really weak towards all the cute little mascots recently. Anyway, after that we see the arrival of the old infected body of Skibidi Scientist. Yeah, remember the episode where Skibidi Scientist got cured with the shot of Atlantis core energy? Well, it turned out that SCP Dave did not dispose of his cured ally's body even after this defeat. And now we can see how somebody else pilots it instead of Skibidi Scientist. And it's no other than Carl Johnson from GTA series, which is a reference to one of the earliest episodes of Skibidi Zombie series where he appeared, to be more precise, in episode 14. And don't even ask me why Monster Up remembered about this guy just now. Please, based on Mecha Cameraman's facial expression, if I can even call it that, he's pretty shocked to see the old Skibidi Scientist's body still in use, but he still continues to attack it. Well, turns out the scientist's old body still kept the majority of its unique abilities, and it's hella dangerous even after the earlier defeat, so eventually Camera Strider with Mecha inside crashes down. At the same time, we can see how cute Mini Drone runs all over the cave location with one goal, to actually steal the Hephaestus core. And eventually it manages to do so, and we see how the drone victoriously shows the taken core to its owner. This mini guy is so cute I almost want to make it explode at y'all. But right now, Mecha Cameraman must deal with the scientist's body at first, and in order to do so, he actually has to use the Hephaestus core himself. Otherwise, Carl Johnson will simply crush him, so there's no other choice. The mini drone throws the core right inside the Strider, and in the next moment, Mecha's machine gets a complete overhaul. It gets drastically larger in size, and in general, Strider starts reminding more of a full-fledged Titan now. It is also equipped with all sorts of guns and cannons. And what is even better to know is that both Strider and Mecha Cameraman are completely safe while using this core's powers too. Because Mecha is not the one actually using this core, and Strider is just a machine which won't get destroyed after its energy source runs out, it will just shut down for some time. So basically, no one is in grave danger this time, and we can finally relax and not worry for Mecha Cameraman way too much. Unfortunately, G-Man was the one who had to sacrifice himself while using the Hephaestus core. But at least Mecha character will be safe, for now. And then we see an insanely epic battle where two Titans start messing with each other. And once again, I have to point out what evolution Monster Up's animation has gone after all these episodes. Now this looks like a true cinema, y'all. At first, Mecha attacks the scientist's puppet and tries to destroy its robotic legs so that his enemy won't be able to move around freely anymore. After that, Mecha uses the upgraded claws of its machine in order to rip the scientist's body apart from the distance, but Carl fights back using the unique tail ability of its puppet. Mecha counterattacks the tail missile, so both sides neutralize each other's efforts here. And then, Mecha releases some pretty huge missile that simply blows up the whole territory around his enemy. And while Carl Johnson is most likely stunned, Mecha realizes that it could be the perfect time for escape with the core. But unfortunately, right in the moment when Mecha plans to flee away, SCP Dave raises his ugly head again and sends just a ton of his zombie minions to chase after Mecha Cameraman. Apparently the Plague Doctor is no fool and realized in time that one of his cores was stolen. Otherwise, Mecha wouldn't be so quick to run away. In order to cut all those annoying minions off his trail, Mecha makes Strider to use the additional power of his engines, and it really works. Unfortunately, it also causes the Strider to waste way too much energy the core cannot cover anymore. So after fleeting away, Mecha and his machines start falling down. And in the end of this episode, we see the spooky, hazy forest location, and there is also someone we already saw before. It is the same infected Delete Man we saw some episodes earlier, and oh boy, he's as scary as always. And I'm not just talking about his appearance here, I am talking more about his insane fighting abilities and the fact that he still hasn't been beaten by anyone yet. So in the next episode, Mecha will have to face a much more dangerous enemy than today. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm already pretty tensed up about all of this. And that was all for today. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel so you will not miss my new cool videos. And also, don't forget to leave your comment about what you think will happen in the future episodes of Skibidi Zombie series, because I'm always interested in what you guys have to say. And that was me, ISO Toilet. See ya!